All right. All right. Henry McClure live on YouTube. How you doing? I'm going to get my Facebook live going. Oh, wait a minute. Facebook live goes over here. I got to get to the Mevo studio. I bet that water jug's in the way. All right. Let's get a better angle on Mevo. All right. Let's see how we're looking. You can call in if you want. Trying to get Facebook up. All right. Henry McClure live on Facebook and YouTube. This is the Tonight Show with Henry McClure. I don't have a Tonight Show band or any of the dancers, or I don't have a guest host. I don't have any guests. Not tonight. But what I do want to talk about is what it's like to live on a commission only basis. Your life, commission only. And I'm not blaming you guys for the life that I chose. You risk your time, and the reward is larger payments when you're successful. Marshall Barber, I hope you're listening to this. This really goes out to Marshall Barber today, because today during the Topeka factor, it was almost like a light bulb came on that he's seeing something. And this is a message that I've been trying to make, and I think I've been making it poorly for a long time. And so let's look at the commercial real estate industry, and we live by leads. What kind of leads do you have in the real estate industry? Same for homes. But let's break it down for commercial real estate. Let's break it down to economic development. My lifetime here in Topeka since 2000, I've always viewed, and since they started uh, Go Topeka, and basically the Chamber of Commerce, now the Greater Topeka Partnership, as being in the commercial real estate business. So look at it my way for a minute. Just try to look at it. Try to look at it from the standpoint of somebody that lives on the leads that are out there, and you only get paid when you close the deal. So we're living 100% on the commission basis. Okay. Guys like me, guys like Marshall, KS Commercial, every real estate agent out there pretty much is on their independent contractors. and they get paid when the real estate deal closes. That's why people like us have such resentments against consultants. For example, the consultant for the hotel made $540,000 and they didn't even have to sell the hotel. They wouldn't even make a counter offer to the hotel. But let's break it down like this. This is what I got you guys. I got to get you guys to look at it from my standpoint, please. Is that if you've got the Greater Topeka Partnership up here with Big Matt Pavarnak, and he must do, just think what he has to do. He must create a lot of value to the members that pay him the $338,000. The people, the members of the Greater Topeka Partnership or the Chamber of Commerce component must see a lot of value in Matt Pavarnak for what he can provide them. And let's just look at the Chamber of Commerce as a base, like a political base. Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, the Chamber of Commerce. Let's look at them like a political party. They make political donations. They have political PACs. So let's break it down like this. The governing bodies between the city and the county have created the Joint Economic Development Organization called JEDO. JEDO has abdicated their power to Go Topeka. Go Topeka is a not-for-profit which is managed by Matt Pavarnak and the Chamber of Commerce. Okay? So you got Matt up here, you got Molly over here, and you've got JEDO basically giving them $5 million a year. And they're the managers of the economic development. So here on the screen back here, look up there if you can see it. Let me see if I can zoom it in. So that was the ballot question. That was on the ballot. You have 18 items, starting with economic development at number 1, all the street projects, 2 through 14 are all street projects. Then we got county bridges, the Expo Center, Topeka Zoo, Bikeway Master Plan. Yes or no? Those were the votes. That was on the ballot for the half-cent sales tax. Okay? So if you want to come to the community, hey, I would like to do this deal. I'd like to do that deal. Well, you need to talk to Matt Pavarnak or Molly Howie. So if they control all the economic development money and they're the first source of all the leads, guys like me and others, we don't have a shot at a deal. We don't get to be a part of it. And therein lies the problem of why the city of Topeka doesn't grow. That's why we don't increase the population. And that's why we don't broaden the tax base, because we've got the wrong people in control. Whether you like it or not, the Chamber of Commerce has their own base. They have their base of members. And I'm telling you something, voters, you got to take away the money from Go Topeka. And this is why. Number one, it's not an even playing field because they have these little code words. It's all bullshit. They don't, oh, Project Queen Bee and Project whatever. These things, the 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 head of the head of the Go Topeka people, they know what's going on. You can't make a decision with Project Queen Bee as the name. You've got to know. Plus, you're sitting there, and if you think that they don't, that the people of Go Topeka that are the final says on whether or not they want to do these deals, if you don't think, don't be naive. And this isn't Henry being a crybaby. This is Henry trying to create an even playing field and taking on the masters that run this city. And if I can change it, I can create an even playing field for everybody. And when I'm out of my office in 4 years, it should be an even playing field. And then I can take advantage of the same benefits that that I created during the 4 years. But here's the key to this whole thing too. Ask Braxton Copley, who might be a little bit over his head. He's a nice enough guy. He had a law degree. And I sometimes I just think lawyers think they're the smartest guys in the room. My dad had a doctorate in tax law. He might have been the smartest guy in the room. But I digress. But Braxton the other day said there's a $16.5 million shortfall of the projects that are on the ballot. So if we take the $5 million a year that now Molly's just handing out willy nilly, I can back it up. We can fact check it. And it's a proven fact that they spend $3.5 million of the economic development and the overhead to run their self-serving organization. Molly won't help me and hasn't helped me because if she helps me and my projects start getting legs, well, finally everybody's going to realize we don't need Go Topeka. We don't need Go Topeka today. What we need to start doing is investing that $5 million in infrastructure. We need to redo pretty much almost everything of how we do business in this city. We've got a county attorney. I've got him on tape. We can fact check the tape saying that, well, design build is always the best way to go. And that's not. And I've done hundreds of millions of dollars in projects. In the Mace Rich Company in the mall business, I started off in the construction department. And I went from renovation to renovation. And when you're in the thick of this stuff, you're working with the owners of the mall. And the thing with my mall projects is we had to create a profit. Our renovations and leasing efforts had to add value. The whole idea of the sales tax was that if we fix these roads, it's going to add value to the project. End of story, right there. We can't afford Molly and her crew. And number one, it's not fair. So if you could just look at this, Marshall, for a minute. If Go Topeka has all the leads and the Greater Topeka Partnership have all the leads, and they don't share them, how's that fair? We've got we've got the government in the way of the deal making process. So the way I look at it, they shouldn't own a hotel and they shouldn't be the real estate brokers of this community. Do you see that? Can you connect that dot? They shouldn't be operating a hotel and they shouldn't be operating the commercial real estate business. We've got to let the market decide. We can't have Matt Pavarnak or the board of directors of his organizations make decisions that affect the community because they might infringe upon one of the members of their base. That's why I'm willing to give up my real estate license for 4 years and do the people's work. There isn't anybody I can't do a deal with. If you can look at it from that standpoint, we'll start seeing eye to eye. I've got more commercial real estate experience and deal making than anybody in this community. So says Doug Bassett. So if you vote for me, really, you're giving me a job. I mean, most recently we got you the Chick-fil-A, we've got the Panda Express up there. You can say, well, come on, you can do better than that, Henry. Well, maybe I could have done better when I was making the deal with Mars or Walmart. But think about it. Those deals didn't broaden the tax base and they haven't grown the population. And we can fact check that. It's easy to fact check that. I was born July 13th, 59. The population was under 120,000 in the city. I think we got 126,000 in the city now. And look at your real estate taxes. So just take a moment. It's not about me. I'm sincerely going to work for the voters of Shawnee County. I'm asking you for a job. But I know how to add value. And I'm telling you something, if I don't know how, I probably know somebody who to call. But I'm also willing to engage those in the community that know how. And if I can get the 740 members of the Sunflower Board of Realtors working for me, we'll move that inventory that the county councilor is not putting on the list. We're going to take, I pray that Chris Kobach reviews the statute because I don't believe that we're following the law. And all we got to do is follow the law today. So we take the foreclosures and put them back in the treasurer's office and the county commissioners and the county councilor, we get those guys out of it. It's not my job. Hey, treasurer, collect the money. But I'll help move the inventory. Do you see it? You see what I'm trying to say? I'm trying. I'm willing to reframe the issue, but it was like Marshall today said, you're taking this way too personally. Well, it affects my livelihood because I live commission to commission, which is also a better way to go anyway. We pay consultants out the yin yang. Why don't we just pay people that perform? Why don't we start hiring people that know how to do something and don't need to go out and hire consultants? That's the Tonight Show. Fact check it. I love y'all. Night night.